Alright fellas, this is going to be the penultimate battle of Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. My opponent for this battle is going to be my compadre Fat Jesus. He says he's not the type of person to be using hardcore teams, so I figured, okay, I'll just use this team that I made not on the fly. It's actually one that I have put thought into, but I've never tried it, so he's gonna be the first person I try it, basically. And yeah, I'm going to lead off with, or he's gonna lead off with, I'm a PC, which is the Porygon 2, and I'm gonna lead off with Sylveon. And he's gonna withdraw because I guess he's afraid of taking a Hyper Voice from a Spec Sylveon, or potentially Spec Sylveon in this case, but this is a Spec Sylveon in my end, so he switches out, it goes into Scizor, hoping to take it better, but it doesn't. It gets two-shotted, but I didn't want to stay in because I know I don't outspeed it, and even if I did, it has Bullet Punch, so, and on an offensive Sylveon, it definitely KOs, especially thanks to that Technician, and not to mention a crit. So yeah, predicting the hacks right there, which is pretty awesome. I'm gonna switch in Skarmory, as you guys already saw, and he's gonna switch out and go into this thing. I set up Stealth Rocks because I know there's gonna be a lot of switching here. And here what I do is switch out and go into Rotom, I believe. And then here, he's gonna actually go for the Trick. I thought he would go for a Fire move or even a Shadow Ball, but he actually didn't. He actually ended up going for Trick, which is actually kind of funny because he just gives me a Choice Scarf, which is something I already have. And now he's forced to switch out because now he's locked into Trick, which is actually kind of funny. But yeah, he's gonna go into Sand Slash now. I'm guessing to Rapid Spin the rocks away. And I do predict him to switch out the Chandelure, and I just go for the Hidden Power, which I'm not sure if it's Grass or Ice, but it's a Hidden Power of sorts. And I thought he was gonna switch out, trying to preserve the Sand Slash, but he doesn't do that. He actually stays in, so I actually mispredict here. I switch in Zygarde, thinking he'd probably switch out, but he actually didn't. Like, I thought he might try to switch into Chandelure again, because if the Hidden Power is super effective on Sand Slash, the chances of it being Hidden Power Grass or Ice were very, very high, that I kind of thought he would try to actually switch back in, but he didn't. And I just switch out Zygarde and go into Skarmory, just to see if I can KO this thing with my Rocky Helmet, but it doesn't, so that's kind of good and bad. Bad because I don't get to knock this thing out, and good because I get to set up rocks again, or do something. Like, I had to force him to switch out basically because I can just set up the rocks again. But here I'm just gonna go for Roost as he switches out. I didn't think he was gonna go into Shandy, but I didn't know what he was gonna switch into. He switches out into Amino Uber, which is the Dragonite, and I was like, okay. I switch in Sylveon, and I was gonna hope that he doesn't carry Iron Head on this thing, and it doesn't seem like he does because he actually just switches out after I send in Sylveon. And he's gonna sack Scizor because he knows this thing is gonna go down after a Hyper Voice, especially considering it did over half the first time I did Hyper Voice. So yeah, the Scizor is gonna go down, which is excellent. And now he's gonna switch in Mega for me, which is the Slowbro. And I was actually confident I can take this thing out with just 2 Hyper Voices, but it instead actually just one-shots it, so that's actually kind of crazy. My Sylveon actually putting in work here, which is actually kind of cool, not gonna lie. I'm gonna switch out Sylveon here though, because I don't want this thing to take a Fire Blast, and I go straight into Rotom. I was once again anticipating a Shadow Ball or Fire move, but I wanted to switch in Rotom because I was hoping that I'd be able to take one at least, and then be able to Volt Switch. But he just crits me with Shadow Ball, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of unfortunate. But at least now I know I can send in Sharpedo safely, because, I mean, what's he gonna do with Shadow Ball? He's definitely going to switch out, but he's going to go into his Porygon too, which is actually going to be annoying because I have to crunch here. And I was hoping for a defense drop, which I did get, but here I had to stay in and protect to see if he actually carried Thunderbolt or not. If he doesn't carry Thunderbolt, I might actually stay in with Sharpedo and just take a Tri Attack and try to see if I can wither it down to the point where it just can't simply recover or anything like that. But see, after going for the Protect and seeing Thunderbolt, I was like, okay, I think staying in is a bad idea, so I went into Superior instead, just to get +2, but he actually predicts the switch and actually goes for Ice Beam, so I was like, damn, That's actually kind of bad. Because I was actually switching it in, take a Thunderbolt, and then I was just going to go for a couple Leaf Storms. And the higher I get my Leaf Storms up, or in terms of special attack, the better I could have been to pretty much damage a lot of his team. But he predicted it, and now he just gets to simply two-shot my Sharpedo without getting any boost from Leaf Storm, which is unfortunate. But now I'm going to just send in Sylveon again, and he's going to switch this thing out again. And he's going to go straight into the Sand Slash, basically as Death Fodder. Which is ingenious, because I'm pretty convinced that's what he was preserving this thing for. And yeah, I just Hyper Voice it. Now here I think he goes back into Shandy once again, and that's actually really annoying because now I'm forced to switch out again. And while I could try to predict the Shadow Ball, Hyper Voice may two-shot the Chandelure, but I wasn't really sure. And on top of that, I was afraid that Fire Blast from this thing might two-shot, because this thing has like 145 special attack, I think. That's actually a lot, so I didn't want to risk that being a two-shot. And look how much it does to Zygarde. It almost two-shots. And I couldn't, and it sucks that he got the special defense drop with Shadow Ball there, because I could have probably taken one more and gone for Earthquake, or at least scare it out and go for like Glare or something. But I couldn't do that, so I just lose Zygarde right there, which sucks. Now here I'm just gonna send Sharpedo out. Now here I had to definitely just go for Crunch, because if I tried going for Protect, he'd probably just switch out into Pori, which can definitely take the hit. And my Sylveon cannot take out this Chandelure without taking any sort of damage, so I just had to take the damage on Sharpedo here and just go straight for the Crunch, because if I Protect, I was afraid he might just switch out into Pori or something else basically. But he's gonna go into this thing, which is his Dragonite, and I'm just gonna Mega Evolve here. And I wanted to see if he would actually go for E-Speed, and to my surprise, he actually doesn't go for E-Speed. I was actually thinking, wouldn't it be funny if he actually didn't go for E-Speed, and then he doesn't, and I'm like, what the hell? Why didn't you go for E-Speed, my dude? You would have definitely taken out this Sharpedo. I mean, I know I still had Skarmory in the back, but what is that thing gonna do? You could just switch back into Pori. Either way, he goes for the E-Speed now, and now takes out my Sharpedo, but had to take a lot of damage in the process. And then here he just goes for Dragon Claw, I guess just to get some damage before I try to finish this thing off with an Iron Head. Which I think I do. Which is actually really, really good. Because I was afraid of this thing, I don't know, having Fire Punch or something. Well, he went for Dragon Claw, so he probably didn't even have it. I go for Iron Head here on this Pori just to get some damage off before this thing ultimately kills me with Thunderbolt, because, yeah, there's nothing I can really do about that, honestly. And then here, I think I just sent in my last Pokemon, which is Sylveon, and just spam Hyper Voice. I wanted to see if with Specs I could be able to take out this Porygon. I'm not able to, and he goes for Recover, and I was like, ugh, that's gonna be kind of annoying. And then it goes for Recover, and looking at the HP that it did, I'm feeling that maybe I might be able to take it out. But then after going for a second Hyper Voice, it just puts it back where it was, so I wasn't really sure if it was gonna take it out. Although here he goes for Tri Attack, and I just go for Hyper Voice again, and now I just take out the Porygon too. Which is kind of weird. I honestly thought he was going to just try to Recover stall me here. Which, like, I wouldn't have minded it personally, but yeah, that would have been kind of annoying. But still, although according to him, he told me that supposedly he was getting 4 HP less than what he was getting from Recover or something. Like in other words, he was basically taking more damage than he was recovering from the Choice Specs Hyper Voice, so that's kind of why he went for Tri Attack. I don't know. I personally would have just went for the Recover stalling, but I guess he didn't want to get critted or something, I don't know. Either way, that was a pretty good game. It was a pretty close game for my first battle against Fat Jesus in Generation 6, because I've never actually battled this guy before. Like, I've seen him a lot, battling TheKillerNacho a lot, but that kind of didn't tell me how he actually plays, or what teams he likes to use, so I was like, this was going to be interesting, and look at this. It was actually closer than I thought. But, oh well. There was a lot of hacks, though, so I don't know. But it was still a fun battle nonetheless. Plus, it was also fun to be back in Generation 6 after a long time of just playing Sun and Moon, because this was a battle that I had very recently, or at least one of the more recent ones that I had against anyone in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. But yeah, anyways, this is going to be the penultimate battle. Thank you guys for watching, and just stay tuned for the final battle in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and I'll catch you guys there. So yeah.